This is TomoNews for Tuesday, September 12th. Chicago teen found dead in hotel walk-in freezer. A 19-year-old woman has been found dead inside a walk-in freezer at a Chicago hotel after she went missing from a party last Friday. Kanika Jenkins reportedly left her home at 11:30 p.m. that night to go to a party with some friends at the Crown Plaza in Rosemont, near O'Hare Airport. A Facebook Live video appears to show Jenkins sitting on a bed on the 9th floor with other people around her. Police said surveillance video from the hotel shows Jenkins walking through the hotel highly inebriated. Authorities added it appeared as if Jenkins made her way into a vacant area of the hotel that was under renovation. She then apparently let herself into a walk-in freezer while drunk and died inside. An autopsy was performed on Sunday, but it's not yet clear if foul play was involved. The cause and time of death have yet to be determined. Police are now reviewing the Facebook video and have identified most of the people in the clip. The medical examiner's office said it was waiting on toxicology results, which can often take days or months to complete. Jenkins' family is questioning the police account of what happened, and they believe foul play was involved. The investigation is ongoing. Hemingway's cats are doing just fine after the storm. All of the descendants of Ernest Hemingway's cats avoided a catastrophe down in the Florida Keys and made it through Hurricane Irma with all toes intact. The 54 6- and 7-toed cats, along with 10 brave workers from the Ernest Hemingway Home and Museum in Key West, are all okay. As Irma approached last week, a full evacuation was issued for the Florida Keys. Jackie Sands, the general manager at the museum, ignored the order and stayed put. Sands said she felt she had an obligation to make sure the cats and the grounds made it through the hurricane. The cats must have known something was up and reportedly came inside once they sensed a drop in barometric pressure. The 18-inch thick limestone walls of the house helped a little too. In total, 10 employees stayed behind to help look after all the little furballs during the storm. But now with the storm gone, things aren't perfect. They don't have power, water, or internet, but they do have generators, food, and medical supplies on site. Amazon's plans for a second headquarters sparks bidding frenzy. Billionaire businessman and owner Jeff Bezos wants to make it rain billions on a city near you. Amazon has announced it was looking to build a second headquarters in North America, setting up a bidding war amongst U.S. states and Canadian provinces. The online retailer will reportedly spend north of $5 billion on the project that could employ up to 50,000 people over 2 decades. Potential American cities for Amazon's so-called HQ2 include Los Angeles, San Francisco, Salt Lake City, Austin, Dallas, Denver, Detroit, Memphis, Atlanta, Baltimore, Boston, Washington, D.C., and New York. North of the border in Canada, Toronto and Vancouver are reportedly in the running as well. Ultimately, it's up to Amazon to pick a place, but we're sure wherever they select will be some prime real estate. All the weather records Irma has set, met, or broken. Despite recently being downgraded to a tropical storm, Hurricane Irma broke several meteorological records as it rampaged through the Caribbean and Florida. Irma began as a tropical storm, but quickly strengthened to a hurricane in the middle of the Atlantic. It generated the most accumulated cyclone energy by a tropical cyclone ever recorded. More than 18 entire hurricane seasons since 1966. Irma clocked in 185-mile-per-hour winds for 37 hours, which is the longest time a tropical cyclone has maintained winds of that intensity. It was the strongest storm to hit the Leeward Islands, the first Category 5 hurricane to hit the Bahamas since 1992, and Cuba since 1924. It's also the first major hurricane to make landfall in Florida since Wilma in 2005. The hurricane prompted the largest evacuation in the Bahamas, with 5,000 leaving the islands. Some 6.3 million Floridians were also instructed to evacuate. With Irma and Harvey just days apart, 2017 also marks the first time the U.S. was hit by 2 Category 4 hurricanes in one season. The combined cost of damage brought about by the storms may also be one of the country's most expensive. Hopefully, though, the worst is over, especially since experts say September 10th marks the peak of this year's Atlantic hurricane season. UN issues fresh sanctions on North Korea. North Korea is facing a new round of sanctions after the United Nations Security Council unanimously approved the decision on Monday. In the wake of the North Korean regime's latest and largest nuclear weapons test, September 3rd, the UN adopted a U.S.-drafted resolution aimed at preventing the country from fueling and funding its weapons program. The resolution will restrict oil imports into the North by prohibiting the sale of natural gas and setting a 2 million barrel a year cap on petroleum products. There will be a ban on textile exports, which are North Korea's second biggest exports, earning the country nearly $760 million in 2016. New measures will also be put into place to prohibit North Koreans from working overseas, cutting off the $500 million in revenue generated by heavily taxing 93,000 citizens sent abroad to work. The original resolution pushed for a full oil embargo and included an asset freeze and travel ban for North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. These were removed after negotiations between the U.S. and China.